Hey guys, this is what I'm talking about where I'm having real live hacking being done through my phones, my computers, different things. And I know who it is. The thing is that I like to let people catch themselves. And when people do get in trouble, I like to have nothing to do with it. And God has kind of told me definitely don't do that. I don't even do return to senders because if I'm willing to be still and let God be God, He's willing to do my dirty work for me because He doesn't really want His little princess's hands dirty, to be honest with you. And so, vengeance is His. So I've been, but I'm supposed to report on things because the truth does set you free, and it also helps people to see what's going on. Now, this is an exercise guide that I really like, Justin Augustin, I guess, and I've noticed that things that I really enjoy that are positive, someone keeps uh, unaliving it. And then things that I would never look at or abide. I mean, toxic, dirty, filthy, negative, ghoulish, dark, morose, somber things that just are not, that's just not me. That's not my energy. I don't enjoy gloom and doom. Never have, never will. And the fact of the matter is that someone's clearly trying to manipulate what I see, what I hear, yada yada. And like I said, I know exactly who it is, but I'm just not willing to even lower myself to give that. The good news is that it's all being handled in the 5D and the 3D. God's taking care of it, but He's taking care of it through people. And so watch when I try to follow Justin. Isn't this an interesting phenomenon? It'll say following for a minute. It's happened with so many things that I do, and it only on Facebook, and it's on the different I have many phones, so it's not a phone thing. I've got two laptops right here. I tend to work pretty hard. I've got my big TV up there. I've got another TV back there that's off. I like to keep that with classic cartoons going, especially when I'm doing tough work because, I got to have something to balance it in my head. Negativity and I just do not get along. So anyway, if I sound a little bit snarky right now, it's because I'm totally unhappy. That died right when I was trying to figure out what's going on. But and I have several more phones and whatnot. It's kind of sickens some people, but when you see what I'm going through, you totally understand it. So anyway, as you saw, it once again unfollowed me. I'm going to follow it again. You see, following, follow. And it's not just on this page. It's when I was trying to get his little exercise programmy thing. Now it's too big. These are the reels I was looking at. Oh wait, yeah, there's my BYU. And wait a minute, I missed something here. I wanted to see that. What is that? Oh, yeah, I did. I posted that. Really nice table. Super easy to make. I very impressive. And that's a cornbread blooming onion. Oh, my goodness. And then this is a pizza, an upside down pizza that you do with tortilla. It's sensational. This stuff's amazing. My nails aren't done. I'm embarrassed. That's a heavy snack right there. Heavy treat. 3 signs you have a. Now that's where I was trying to get is this guy. It's not getting smaller, but
3 signs you have a weak.
So I was trying to follow him, and if you'll notice, take her cute little head out the way. When I go to follow him, right here, I hit follow. It says following, and watch. It'll take a few seconds. Someone's literally, I think they're watching, and you gotta understand. I changed my passwords. There's no one, I mean, absolutely no one can have my passwords unless they're getting them from the system. I share them with no one. I'm a very much prefer to be a hermit kind of person. I love people. I'm very gregarious and I'm social. I'm an introverted extrovert, It's like because I have so many things I love to do, from writing to paint to art, just to give you a little sample of how my life looks, everything from filming to, you name it, I like to do it. I believe in living life. That's one thing Dad used to say about me all the time. He'd say, "That's one thing about you, chicken. You sure know how to live." And it's true. Because I used to get left alone a lot, especially in our car and stuff. Like my parents would go visit something or whatever. And I know how to keep myself happy. I know how to stay busy and do what I need to do and do what I need to do. And I made the couch all unique, if that's wondering what that is. I brought the pillows back. I was using them in the other room. I was experimenting with an idea of a daybed. And then also, I just got this boss cot, man. I love this cot. That thing weighs nothing, but there's a little tear in it, so I'm going to have to, fix that before I can actually use it. Because, it wasn't during the homelessness, but I like to sleep outside if the weather is temperate. You know what I mean? Even a little cool is fine because I like to have my little snuggly blanket with, just like Angela Johnson said, I like to be all in a cold room and then I like to be all snuggled up in my blanket and I got a little bit of cool air in my face. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of interesting. But yeah, that's still not okay, I want to follow this guy. So what I did do is I went up and bookmarked his actual page. So I went to his, if anybody else is having these kind of problems, this is one way to try to work on it, But that's BS, man. They go in and do all these likes of people I don't even know, much less like. And then they also go in and add a bunch of like celebrity types. There are so many fake pages trying to friend me. And then they put me in their groups and they put me as a fan of their page. And you guys cannot believe view numbers anymore. You can not believe followers and all that anymore. Because the fact of the matter is, these are being manipulated. Somebody's manipulating these things. And, I may look stupid, but I sure am not. And the fact of the matter is, I'm sorry for being redundant, but there's facts and then there's fiction. And the fiction is that nothing's going on. The fact is there's massive manipulation going on here. I've been unfriended from friends. I've had dead friends hit me up, dude. And so, that's Facebook. Somebody at Facebook is doing this, and I don't know if it's because they're pissed off about being taken over. I don't know what their deal is, but I can just tell you this much. It's shady. It's SHITTY, and it also is very, very uncool that Facebook is not keeping a closer eye on their people. I mean, there's gonna and gotta be a way. And the fact that you can't talk to people, the fact that they charge money for help, it's very, very shady. It's very, very, again, with this is public square, and I have just as much a right to talk, walk, and post as anybody else, but they are literally gatekeeping certain people, and I've overheard that they're deliberately gatekeeping Black people, especially women, and I find that so vile and so disgusting. I do know of at least 2 influencers, more like self-help gurus, who've had their pages taken over. Just taken over. And it's not them at all. I know a lot of people on YouTube the same thing. And there has to be a checks and balance system. You cannot convince me that there's not a way for them to log who's doing what and when. And then they need to answer for why. This was really great that I had an opportunity to film it, because there's so many times that things have happened just so odd that I don't have a real way of even articulating sometimes what happened. Like even this, I follow the person and then I'm unfollowed, and people are like, maybe you hit a button, whatever. But nope, no matter what device I go on, it's the platform. I'm gonna follow it again. Does it or does it not say that it's going to following? And then it goes nothing. So we want to know what that's about. It doesn't seem to be too cool. And what I did, like I said, is I just bookmarked the page. I'm still going to get the information. That's one thing about me is I'm not a quitter. If I don't get it one way, I'll get it another. I'm not a by any means person. I go within the parameters of the Lord, and I generally use him for my guidance because a lot of times, he'll sit back and let me try to figure it out on my own. But, if I get desperate enough, he does help. I can be an importunate widow. The thing is that trying to stop me from teaching people the things that they need to know so that they can thwart the wicked is like asking me not to breathe. I don't know any other way of being since I was a tiny kid. I played church outside with my friends, okay? And if it was such a rotten thing, then I'm wondering why they were knocking on my door all the time. They were constantly, can Jamie come out and play? And we'd do school, we'd do church. Sometimes we'd set up our own little carnival or a circus. We frequently played football and baseball and three flights up. And we had all kinds of stuff. We were some incredibly active kids. For example, we would tie water hoses and string them together on really tall pine trees and use cloth or gloves, sometimes just our shirts or jacket sleeves, and slide down the hose. My mom literally fainted. She was yelling for me and I didn't hear her. And she's all, Jamie, Jean, Jackson, get in here. Because she's all, where are you? And I'm up here, Mom. And she saw me. And she said, get in here. And all she saw was her daughter step off the limb. And so she thought she had just ordered me to my death. And that poor woman conk. By the time I got down there, I saw my mother on the ground. And I bet I was just as scared as she was scared of me because I thought something I didn't know. And in fact, Mr. Parker had just died in our kitchen like a few weeks or months before that. And so I was just like, no. So I run and Ms. Maria is waking my mother up going, Gina, it's okay, Gina, she's fine. Gina, she slid down a hose. And my mom was like, what? That literally was like one of the only of half a dozen occasions that I really felt my mom actually cared. So what ended up happening is the way that we were raised, this is the 70s and a little bit of the 80s, we were fools. We would take plywood and rocks, boulders, cement, cinder blocks and stuff, and we would just stack them on and make ramps and stuff. And I got witnesses. This is Shelley Street. I would literally do backflips in the air on my bike with no helmet. Now I know it's because God had a mission for my life. But at the time, oh my goodness, we were like, ooh, I got skills. You know what I mean? I just knew I had to teach myself how to ride the bike. They bought the bike for me. It was one of those real cool banana seat bikes with the basket, the white bike with the streamers on the handlebars. But nobody would teach me how to ride the thing. So I was like, cotton pick it. I taught myself how to swim too. And because I almost drowned, and a woman literally was going to let me drown. And she hated me because of her granddaughter. And she was standing there watching me. And I did make it. She didn't make a move to help me. She saw me drowning. That day, I stayed out there all day until I knew how to swim and was confident in the water. Meanwhile, on the bike. So I would aim it at Pat and Kevin's ivy. They had ivy in their front yard, a big patch of ivy, and it was thick. It'd been there for years. Very, very fluffy, or, very soft. So it made a really soft landing. We learned that wrestling with each other. We'd throw each other in it. And so I would aim my bike at the curb and hit to stop, and I'd flip over the handlebars and I'd land in the ivy. And Mr. Abrams saw me do that one day, and he's like, Jamie, what are you doing? He's like, don't hurt your bike like that. And I explained to him I don't know how to stop it, and he showed me that magnificent invention called a coaster brake. Hooray! But I was quite obsessed with my bike. I still love bikes, you know what I mean? I have one bike that was stolen a couple years ago. It just broke my heart. And I was like, I wonder if my bike misses me as much as I miss it, So anyway, Yeah, so we'd do these ramps and stuff. And I mean, sometimes we just flip off the side because the rock didn't balance right or, whatever. And so we became like masters of balance and angle. I don't know. Like I said, God was taking such pity on these pathetic little Shelley Street kids. But we had so much fun. I do have to admit, there was drama, there was ups, there was downs. We had a lot of joy. And one thing that is so awesome about humanity is that we tend to remember the joy. A lot of times the bad rather fades. At least if you're a healthy, healed person, there are those that really cling to their pain, and it's sad because they get a subconscious signal from others that this is a way to obtain care or support, resource, whatever, supply. And so they'll actually retain their injuries in order to gain. And sometimes it seems to be on an almost subliminal level, like a subconscious level, where they're not really even aware of it. I've seen so many people that look perfectly happy and they're just puttering away as an apartment manager. And often I'd see tenants just having fun, and then their friends would come around and they, oh, my health, oh, my husband, oh, my and they would just be so depressed. And I'm pobrecita. Oh, my goodness, my dear, can I help? I'll give you money, whatever the case was. And so I started noticing that trend. I really, really did. And so yeah, it's really great because if you're willing, especially if you're a prayerful person, the atonement of Jesus will wipe that. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you. Yeah. Once you hear my story, a lot of people are like, how are you so happy? And they almost seem like they resent the fact that healing is available, and I want to spread that to the rest of the world. I love you guys, and I literally take our family seriously. I literally believe that you are my sister just as much as the one I was born with, and you'll probably be nicer to me than her. I'm sorry. The thing is, guys, come on. All the underhanded, all the witchcraft, all the manipulation, the coercion, the blackmail, the lies. Come on, guys. Drop the masks. Be yourself. Love yourself enough to accept yourself. And if you don't like what you are, change it. You go to bed every night. You get a fresh start every morning. And if you want to have an English accent, booyah. Go for it. Do whatever it is you feel like doing. And one day, I'm well known to use 5, 6, 7 different accents just for the fun of it. And if you don't like it, then I don't care. You can go. Okay? Because it's not necessary to stay in my little tiny part of the world and hate on me. You don't like it? Get to stepping. Kick rocks, babe. Ain't nobody told you to stay. So that's what I'm just trying to say is we've got to start holding each other accountable. We need to start holding ourselves accountable. And as Michael Jackson, the dear and poor murdered man, and one of my favorite people, said, I'm looking at the man in the mirror. You need to look at the man or woman in the mirror. And you need to tell yourself, look, nobody means more to me than I mean to me. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest because I get to own my life. No one means more to me than I mean to me. God knows. Why shouldn't they? Who is that person that's just so important? Now, I do realize some people need to keep a job or whatever the case may be, but the way that you handle things in life, if you do it the hard way, you're going to have it easy. If you do it the easy way, you're going to have it hard. That's why I feel sorry for people who had childhoods, these spoiled little kids that are just weak nothings in adulthood, sitting up there living with their parents well into their 20s. And I'm just going, what? Because people like me, we're out of there before we're even legal. Okay. And it's not because we don't like anybody. It's because we like to have things our way. We like to make our decisions. We like that sense of accomplishment. It's just so groovy to look back at your merits and go, hey, I was put on this planet and I'm doing something with my life, and people are having their life improved by it. I just love the ability to bring joy because, as God said, man is that he may have joy You guys have a great week. Remember, God loves you, and so do I.